So yesterday we stopped at number 5. I don't know if we did that one, but I don't think we were going to do that one, but we're going to pick up at 6, 7, and 8. We'll finish these together. Yes, this is the back of your paper. So that's probably why you thought you finished. There was a back to the paper. So on number 6, they want an equation of a vertical line, and they give us a point. Now, here's the thing. What kind of slope does a vertical line have? It's straight up and down. It's a line that is straight up and down. So it is an undefined slope. But we're still going to be able to write an equation for this. We have a line that's straight up and down, and it goes through the point 5, -5. So let me just plot that point. Over 5, down 5. That would be right here. So the vertical line looks like this. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yeah.
I know it doesn't want a graph. It wants an equation. So it's either an x equals or a y equals. So is that on my x-axis or on my y-axis that it goes through? This is my x. This is my y. It's at x equals 5. Is it not? At x equals 5. So which one says x equals 5?
D.
Now, anytime it's a vertical line, it's going to be x equals that number. Anytime it's a horizontal line, what's it going to be? Y equals that number. Okay? That actually tells you your answer to the next question. Okay? So anytime, I'll say that one more time. Anytime it's a vertical line, it's x equals and whatever your x value is. Okay? So x equals 5.
Y equals 6.
So it is y equals 6 on the next one. Because anytime it's a horizontal line, it's just y equals the y value. So on number 7, it's y equals 6. That would be a horizontal line. Okay? We kind of learned that. It's been a long time, but in Algebra 1. Okay? That's what those two things mean. All right. Do we need another example of those? Yes, no? It's just x equals the x value or y equals the y value. That's when it's a horizontal or a vertical line. Because you're dealing with different kind of slopes. That's why. Okay? Then you have, I guess everybody has that. Everybody had that? We're writing because we're turning this in. Yes? We have that written down. Okay. So x equals 5 and then y equals 6. Now number 8, this is the last one on there, and then we get to move to today's stuff. Bless you. It says, write this equation in slope-intercept form, and then graph it. So I'm going to solve for y. What do I move first?
The 2x.
The 2x. Have we done this in a while? Yes, no?
In a while.
Look, let me rewrite it so y'all can see it a little better. Okay, I'm solving for y. This right here. That's what I'm solving for. What all things are over there with it that I need to move?
2x and 2.
2x and the 2. So we move what's not with it first, this 2x. So do I add or subtract it?
Subtract.
We subtract, minus 2x. Subtract 2x. That's right. Minus 2x. So I get 2y equals, now are those like terms? Do they match?
No.
One has an x, one does not. So I'm going to write exactly what it says. A negative 2x, and I'm adding 8. I like to write my x first. Some of you probably would have written down 8 minus 2x. That's the same thing, but it looks better when your x comes first.
So you divide.
And then you're going to, that's right. What's over here with this y? The 2. So everything must be divided by 2. Everything. Yeah. So I'm going to divide this by 2, and what do they do?
Cancel out.
Cancel out. I'm going to divide this by 2, and what are they actually going to do as well?
Cancel out.
Yeah, so I'll have a negative x, and then I'll have 8 divided by 2, and that becomes something else. So I divided everything by 2, and now I'm in slope-intercept form. So that says y equals I've got a negative x plus, and what was 8 divided by 2? 4. Okay, that's slope intercept form. Then it said to graph it. I might put a graph stamp on here.
How are we supposed to do this?
Well, you don't have to graph it. Let me just graph it. Just do that part for today. Okay? So far your answer is that equation. Y equals negative x plus 4. That's your answer. But y'all, it says for you to graph it, but Landon is upset that y'all don't have a graph stamp, so y'all don't have to graph it. So we will go where? Up 4. Do y'all remember this from the other day? That means we go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's my starting point. From there, where do I go?
Down 1.
My slope is an understood negative 1. That means you go down 1 and over 1. That would be right here. Okay, and then I could just draw my line. That was not a great line, but there you go. Okay, does that make sense, y'all? This has kind of been a lot of stuff, and then we can start parallel. We weren't going to do that one. Just don't even worry about number 5. Okay, just because of time. Let me pause this, and I'll grab that from y'all.
Is this our study guide, right? Yes.
What do y'all know about parallel lines?
They look like this or this.
Yes.
They don't cross.
They don't cross.
They never touch.
They never cross. They'll never touch. Okay. They look like I'll show it up here for the people. Like maybe this, right? They go that way, or maybe they look like this, right? They'll go that way. Yes. Yes, it is two. They're just pretend lines. Okay. So those are parallel lines. Now, what can I say about the slope of these parallel lines?
But they're one's green and one's blue.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's the color of those lines. The slope, what can I say about the slope of these lines? They're the same. Very good. They are the same. Okay? If you go to the stairway, and you've got the little arm rails, that's what I'm going to say, the little arm rails, that are going down. If you look on these stairs and those stairs, they have the same slope, right? They're the same slope, so they're parallel. That's what are you done? That's what we're looking at.
What are these supposed to be?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter. You can just call this one A and that one C. It wouldn't matter which one's which. So that's what we're looking at. Same exact slope for parallel lines. Parallel lines, I think that's what we're working on today. Did I give y'all no, here's your sheet. Let me make sure we're not doing parallel. Yep, all of it's parallel. So guess what we're doing Monday? Perpendicular. Okay, so parallel, it says on the first part, this is like your number 1. Are these two lines parallel?
Yes.
I mean, you can't just look at it and assume they are. They could be, they might not. I mean, they might eventually though. What would you do for those slopes? What would you do?
Would it be the you would do the add or the subtract?
Yeah,
Y
you're
equals
gonna
Y.
find the slopes of the lines and see if they're the same. If they have the same slope, then they are what? Colton.
Parallel.
They're parallel. I have to move you back. All right.
He said.
But I have to move him back. All right. So let me look at L1, line 1. That's this one right here. I'm going to use these two ordered pair. Is everybody good with that?
Yes, ma'am.
So let me subtract my y values. Again, these two ordered pair. So somebody start with a y value. Which one? Negative 4 minus 5. Does everybody understand? Those are my y values. Same order. Let's subtract the x's. Yep, 2 minus negative 1. Notice I changed it, right? So, what do I get for this slope? What's negative 4 minus? Negative 9 over 3. What is that? Negative 3. So, that is the slope of line 1. Now, I'll do this one in another color. What's the slope of line 2? It uses those ordered pairs. So somebody start with one of the y values. Which one? Okay, so -4 minus 3. And then let's start with our x values. -1 minus -3. So there we go. Now, what do I get for this slope?
-7.
-7 over 2. Are those the same slopes?
No.
No. Are those lines parallel? No. One is -3 and one is -3.5. They're close, but they're not the same. So they are not parallel. Eventually, a long way from what's on the graph, they would meet. Okay? Does that make sense, y'all? So the very first thing you're doing, no, it's not making sense. It's seeing if, we're not doing study guide till Tuesday. Study guide Tuesday, test is Wednesday or Thursday. I just gave that to you early because I figured some of y'all would want to go home this weekend and start studying. Okay.
Y'all are so mean.
This man.
I knew they wouldn't on the weekend, but maybe like Sunday night or Monday night
Yeah,
start
that.
studying.
Whoa.
Yes, Bryson.
I was just saying.
I'm just telling you it's the last grade you will get before report cards, and it's over 100 million.
What's
So-
your art?
It's to help. What?
I said, what's your art?
Hey, you don't have to even do the study guide. I'm gonna take it for granted. It's up to you. All right, do y'all want one more of these then?
Yes, please.
We are just comparing these slopes. So let me find another problem.
used yet. How much you get, Jamie?
What?
Okay, whoa.
She's down to 8 words
All right, let's look at that one. Okay, this problem right here. Do y'all see the ordered pairs? A and B and C and D. Do y'all see this?
Yes, ma'am.
They give me, all right, here's A and B. Let's find the slope of that line. And then C and D, we'll find the slope of that line in a second. If they're the same slope, then they're what? Parallel. So I'll start with the 6 minus 2. I'll go that way. And then -13 minus -1. You got it. Questions on what I did on that? I just did y minus y, x minus x. Okay? What is 6 minus 2? 4. And -13 minus 1. And then if you don't know what that is, just type it in your calculator and press math enter. It'll reduce it for you. -1/3. Is everybody okay with that slope?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's find,
Well, you couldn't just do like -3.
huh?
What couldn't you get negative?
No.
Never mind, that was backwards. That's
Yep, it's backwards. Yep. All right, now let's look at C and D. Okay, here's D and then here's point C. So I'll just subtract those. I'll start with my y values. 6 minus 7. Does everybody know where those numbers came from?
This one.
The y values. Then my x values in the same
3
order.
minus 6.
3 minus 6. What is 6 minus 7? -1. And what is 3 minus 6? Okay. What is a negative divided by a negative? A positive 1/3. Are those parallel?
Yes.
No.
No, because that was -1.
They're not parallel. Okay? Because they're not the exact same. One's going up.
They tried to trick us.
Yeah, and one's going down. Yes, they tried to trick you.
Why are you trying to trick me, Mr. Man?
Well, this was just in the book. You're looking for the exact same number. That is not the same number. Okay? Are we good with this?
You were talking to me.
No? Yeah?
I would have just.
Okay. Here, let me give you some problems to try,
Oh, no.
and then I'll go over the next one.
Wait, so you're going to give us a shake?
To try the first couple, and then I'll go over the next one. Here we go. We are looking at problems like, actually, it's like 3, 4, and 5. Okay? 3, 4, and 5. All of these today are parallel lines. So all of these today, we are using the same what? Slope. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, same slope. Y'all make sure you're paying attention because it's changing now and I don't want you to be stuck on those other problems. So, I'm skipping number 3. This is like 4, 5, and 6. I don't know what I said before. All right. So on my problem though, I'm not doing 4, 5, and 6. I'm doing one from the book. What is the slope of my line right here?
Negative.
Yes, -3. Does everybody see? If you look at this equation, what's the number in front of x? -3. So my slope is -3, and then they give me an ordered pair. What's my ordered pair? I think it says -1/8. Yeah, it's just that curve. So it's -1/8. Now this goes all the way back to like, what, 3 days ago or something. I'm going to write an equation in point slope form. What do I have? I have a point and a slope. Does everybody see that? I know my slope is -3 because of the equation. So point slope, yes.
Is that how you know which rule to do? Because if it gives you point and slope.
Yeah, if it gives you a point and a slope, go with point slope.
I never know which one to do.
And then look at your answer choices. You can see they're all in the point slope. But yeah, if this gives me a point and a slope, that's where I start. Point and slope. So I'm going to write y minus my y value. What's my y value? 8. Okay? Does everybody see that? Are we okay with that? That's the formula for point slope form. Y minus the y value. Equals, what's my slope?
-3.
-3 times x minus, what's my x value? -1. So I'm going to change it. And y'all, that's my answer. If I looked at my answer choices, it doesn't tell me to change my equation to anything else. It lets me leave it like that. And I'm done. All I'm learning to use today is the slope they give me. So they gave me -3, and they gave me that point. And I wrote an equation. Do y'all want me to do one more of those? Probably? Yeah? But it's just like 4, 5, and 6 on your paper.
So we're skipping 3.
Yeah, we're skipping 3 for a minute. Okay? Because they don't even have one like number 3, so I'm going to come back to it that way. All right, can I erase this and do another one? But if you're ready, you can go ahead and do your 4, 5, and 6. Okay, you can, if you know this. For those that may not quite know it yet, let's look at this problem. It says, okay, I have this equation. What's the slope of this equation? What number's in front of x? An understood -1. Okay? That's the number in front of x. An understood -1. All right? Now, my new point they give me is -5, 3. So here's my point, and here's my slope. Since they are parallel, I use that slope. So now I write it in that formula, which is right over there on the board. Y minus the y value. Y minus, what's my y value? 3 equals the slope, -1, that's in my formula, times x minus my x value, -5. So I'm going to change it. And that's my answer. I'm done. Okay? I just write it. Now, I want y'all to try 4, 5, and 6. You're skipping number 3. Okay? You're trying 4, 5, and 6. It's all right there. A slope and a point. It's all right there. So y'all can compare answers. Okay. On number 3, this one is a little different than those. They give us 3 equations, and they want to know which ones of these are parallel. I must know what the slopes are, right, to know if they're parallel. So they must all say, no. For me to know the slopes, they must all say y equals. Do they say y equals? No. So I'm going to solve each of them for y, and then I'll see what the slopes are. Okay? So let me look at number 1. 5y equals 2x minus 5. How would I solve for y?
What is it?
Yeah, that's right. Are you ready, Landon, or not yet?
All right.
So, yes, I would divide everything by 5. Each one of those by 5.
Then I put
So,
y by itself.
That y is now by itself. I have a 2/5 for my slope. And then what's 5 over 5? 1. So my slope here is 2/5.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready to see the next one, and let's see if they match. So on number 2 equation, it says 5y equals 4 plus 3x.
We can still divide by 5.
You are still going to divide by 5. Everything. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. So I get 4/5, that doesn't reduce, and 3/5, that doesn't reduce. Which one's my slope on that one?
3/5.
The one in front of the x, right? 3/5. Do those two match?
No.
No. So I need to see what the third one is to see which one's my answer. So I'm going to write down the third equation. Is everybody with me so far? I'm just solving each of them for y. And then I can tell what my slope is. So 5y minus 3x equals -1. So I need to move a few things over here with the y. I need to move the 3x and the 5, right? So I will add 3x. Some of you might can tell already what it's going to be, because what kind of number's in front of the x? A 3. Okay, but you might not. If you can't tell yet, that's fine. So we get 3x minus 1. Then what would I do? Does everybody understand what I did first? I moved my 3x. Now I will divide everything by 5. I'm trying to see which two slopes match.
Wait.
Oh.
Y equals 3/5 x minus 1/5. So that's this one. That's that slope. So which ones match? That would be the second one and the second and the third match. Okay?
I still did that. But I said,
It's just a lot.
Let me see. Me? Today at all?
I don't know. It's just-
On this solid equation?
I'll figure it out.
No, you won't. You can't just wing it. This is not something you can just wing.
I'll watch the video.
So you should have moved your
Cause you'll watch
3x
film.
first. But I guess you did.
You'll watch film.
But it became positive? Like it should have been add your 3x and then divide everything. I mean, it looks supposed to be right. Y'all, to solve for y, this goes back to, y'all pay attention, this goes back to Algebra 1, solving an equation. I think, we don't really do that a whole lot in here because we're more in geometry. But this is probably the closest thing we'll do to Algebra 1 all year. Okay? So those of you that hated algebra,
So why didn't you use 5y?
why did I not use 5y equals? Huh?
You don't know that.
This one was just a 5y equals. 5y equals. Those all I had to do was divide by 5. Does this one say 5y equals? No. What else was over there? So what did I have to do? Move that 3x. Then it said 5y equals. So then I could divide by 5. Okay? And you can tell which ones match. All right, now you're on your last problem. I'll give you all a second to write that down if you need to. And the answer was 2 and 3, whichever ones are 2 and 3. And y'all got 5 minutes. This last problem won't take you long. I'm going to give you the two ordered pairs. How do you know if something's parallel? What do you look at?
The slope.
The slope. When I give you the two ordered pairs, find the slopes and compare them. Okay? Is anybody still writing this? No? Okay, so I'm going to erase that. And we'll look at this problem together. I'll start you off on this problem. Don't let the word problem scare you. I'm scaring this Amanda. No, don't be scared. It says they have rocket launchers. And they have a base and a stand that's in the form of an L. So they have all this information about where the rockets are. One launcher has a 4-inch base with a 10-inch stand. The other has a 6-inch base and a 15-inch stand. Explain why the two rockets launched from the two devices could follow parallel paths. So I've got, let me put my L and my L. I'm just trying to see on which the joins the end of each L. One launcher has a 4-inch base and a 10-inch stand. 4 and 10. I'll say like that. This one has 6 and 10.
6 and 15.
Oh, 6 and 15, thank you.
Well, you may.
I'll go a little bit higher. It might not be exactly. 6 and 15. So they want to know why the two rockets launched could follow parallel paths. I'm just trying to see if I get this same answer. Okay, so I'm going to start with 0, 0 and 0, 0. So if I take these two ordered pairs right here, 0, 0 and 4, 10, and if I take 0, 0, I'll do it this way. There's another way I could have done it. And 6, 15.
Is the other way you could have done it? 6 and
I just would have done 4 over 10 and 6 over 15 and reduced and not in the same fraction.
Well, let's do it.
So no, but I'm showing you the ordered pairs.
10 over 4. What do you do?
No.
I went over 4 and up 10 because I said 4-inch base, 10-inch stand.
So it would be
6-inch base and a 15-inch stand. Look, just so I just do these are. This is your X. This is your Y. This is your X. This is your Y. Just be consistent with it. Okay. Now subtract them, and what are you gonna get? They are the same thing. What does that mean?
Your slope is
Parallel.
They're parallel. Like this one would end up being 10 minus 0
they're slowed
over 4 minus 0.
Because they're slower.
Yes. Oh, that's what you meant.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Then this one would have been 15 minus 0 over 6 minus 0. What do you know about these two numbers?
They both simplified to
They
be.
both simplify to the exact same number. So what do you know about the slopes of that? They're parallel. So
Wait,
the slopes are the same. So the two paths of the rockets are going to be parallel. They're just going to go.
if the
10
two
and 4
bottom- if the
both
two
times
bottom
are
numbers,
parallel.
Yeah.
so if the two bottom numbers can be the same, then it's
If that whole number is the same. What does 10 over 4 reduces to 5 halves. 15 over 6 also reduces to 5 halves.
I would just
Are
have to,
they the same?
I would just have to do that on a calculator.
Yeah. That's what.
That would.
And you would say yes, they're the same. So yes, the paths that the rockets are going to go are going to be
I
parallel.
didn't get that, but
I just put 10 on one, B, J, 6 up at